Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. On my channel, I am going to be doing videos about home decor, about lifestyle, about gardening, things I'm super passionate about. Today's video is going to be a tour of my herb garden. I live in an apartment building, and my herb garden is on my balcony of my apartment. I've been growing my garden for about 4 months. I started growing after quarantine started, so maybe late mid-March to now. A lot of the herbs you're gonna see I've had for a while, so I'm gonna try my best to include a lot of before and after pictures with kind of like timelines to see how long it took for me to get where I am right now. And then I'll also be including as many like prices and references as I can to the things that I used to create my herb garden. I have a full garden. I grow vegetables as well, but today I kind of wanted to focus on herbs because I just feel like they're more functional, and people consistently buy herbs out of everything, and they're just easy to grow. Like for me, I felt like it was an easier starting point than trying to grow a tomato or cucumbers or things like that, like bigger, a little more intimidating vegetables. So I started with herbs, so that's where I want to start as far as introducing my container garden, my apartment garden. So without further ado, if you have any questions or comments about anything you see in the video, obviously leave them below, but let's get to it. Here we are. So I'm bypassing my other plants out here because I really want to focus on my herb garden. So here are my beautiful, beautiful herbs. So I'm gonna give you a nice little tour. So I'm gonna start off with my sweet mint. I have had this one probably since mid-March, late March. One thing about this plant is that I did underwater it one time and it like died. I didn't even know if it would come back, but I cut it all down, watered it really good, and it came back maybe within 2 weeks or so. So they say that that mint plants are really, really easy to grow. They grow like weeds. So super excited about it coming back. I use this a lot in making different drinks and things like that. So there's my little sweet mint plant. And then I will move on to one of my big combination plants. So when I first started my herb garden, I had a bunch of little plants like this, like little small plants. It might have been like 10 of them, and I realized this is taking up way too much space. So I ended up figuring out which plants, which herbs I can combine together in a pot and going from there, which has really, really helped on saving me space. I actually plan on doing a video in the future kind of describing what herbs have worked good together for me. Granted, I'm like no expert, so please do your own research, but for me, these are the things that have worked. So here I have some really, really healthy oregano, and it's a really good amount. This has grown like crazy since I planted it in this pot. So a really, really, really good amount of oregano. Here I have rosemary. Smells so good. I love like when I'm in the garden and I like touch everything, because then you can smell it on your fingers, and rosemary, oregano, all of these things smell amazing. Here I have sage. So the thing about this sage plant is when I first got it, it grew super slow. Maybe the first month it didn't show any signs of growth, and then it started like sprouting up out of nowhere, and now it's a huge amount. So if you look up there, You can see it from the top. It is a huge amount, and I'll try to include a picture of how this rosemary and sage looked a couple of months ago, because I combined those two first before I put in the oregano. But that is one of my like combination pots. So then we go down here and I have this really nice thyme. It's growing really well. I wanted to be able to put this in a combination pot, but after reading up on it, it sounded like the best thing to do was put it in a pot by itself. So that is my thyme. And then we get over here and I have my herbs that I use the most. So in this pot, I have this beautiful basil. This gorgeous basil. I mean, and it smells so good. I make pizzas. I make pasta with this. I use this basil a lot, and it's grown really well in this pot, I have to say. So it's like 3 different, or is it 4? It's like 4 different stems of basil. So a good amount of that. I have chives that I recently added these chives, and so just a little background on my plants. I didn't grow any of these from seed. I chose to go the route where you buy them from like Lowe's or Home Depot and they're already started for you, because I kind of wanted that like instant gratification of growing something, but I also wanted to be able to use it sooner, so like cook with it, and I didn't want to wait months to do that. So the cost came out being a little higher, but to me it was worth it. So here I have some really nice chives right here in this corner, and then here I have a big healthy bunch of parsley. So that parsley, it's flat leaf parsley, and it has grown crazy. Like, it's such a good amount now. That's probably like similar to the amount you actually buy in a grocery store. So like a big bunch of parsley. And so then I have cilantro here. So I just recently replanted, I planted some new cilantro. The cilantro that I had ended up doing this thing called bolting, I think that's what you call it, and dying out. But I use cilantro so often that it was worth it to me to replace it. So I went to Home Depot recently, and I want to say I paid like $3.50 and just bought a new plant and took out the old plant and some of the soil and just replanted this one. So this is the bowl I would say that I use the most. It's the herbs that I use the most, and I think because I probably prune it more, that's why this bowl is a lot bigger than any of my other herbs, because I use this so much. But it looks amazing and it smells amazing out here. And so here I have my spearmint plant. So I originally had 2 of these plants, and I should have a picture or video of them from when I first bought them. I actually gave a friend one of them for them to have their own mint plant, because I decided I didn't need to, like, why be excessive. But I kept this one and it's doing really well. I use this mint as well. There are a few different types of mint, so I decided to get a spearmint to go along with my sweet mint. And this does give off a different flavor and a different smell. So it's doing really well. It's really tall compared to when I first got it. So I'll try to put like a video or a picture so you can see how it looked when I first got it. But it's gorge and it smells really good. So those are my herbs. That is my container herb garden. I really love having this here, and I feel like it gives me a lot of satisfaction growing it, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction, you know, knowing I can make different types of Mexican food and Italian food and all these different dishes, and all I have to do is go outside and grab some herbs. So I will be linking the pots I use to create my herb garden. I really love black, like that's my thing. So I chose to go all black with all of the pots that I have out here. And so the ones I chose are from Lowe's, and they come in different sizes, so I'll make sure I link those. And I actually made these plant markers myself, so I sell them on Etsy if anyone is interested. I'll make sure I link that below, but I love these plant markers too. I think it gives it a nice little look. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and look out for my next video.